Oh, some power. No worries, man.
Go ahead and start us off, Chris.
Thank you.
You guys ready? Cam, can you just walk us through the 50-yard run and then the touchdown?
Hold on 1 second. My ears just went out. Okay, go ahead. Well, that was awkward.
Can you walk us through the 50-yard run and then the catch that you had late?
I don't know. Coach Dillingham says big-time players make big-time plays. I tell him, like I tell you guys every week, I tell him to give me the ball every play. Sam trusted me. We called a play that we knew was going to work at that time. Funny enough, me and Sam actually worked that over the shoulder all week on a whole bunch of different other plays. It wasn't even that one play. I didn't run that play specifically one time all week. First time running that, but I was working that over the shoulder every time. He gave me a chance and I made the catch. So the touchdown, just O-line did a great job moving sideways, and I was able to find a hole. A guy slipped underneath me and I was able to get loose.
The fact that you were able to make those kinds of plays, is that like validation that all the work that you kind of put in the off season?
Yeah. Last week Dillingham challenged me in the middle of the practice in front of everyone. Why aren't you on kickoff? I didn't go down against Texas Tech, and it's been sticking with me. You know, the NFL looks at you differently. So, I mean, he challenged me and I stepped up, and I'm going to keep putting everything I got towards this team. We just beat number 16 in the country, so who says we can't beat anybody else? We played a heck of a game. Guys played hard the whole game, and you know I got a little emotional in there, but I love those guys and I trust them everything they got. I trust that they're going to give it to me.
Last year, 55-3, Cam, you know, playing in that game, taking a snap at QB in that game, seeing how far this team has come from last year to where they are now. What are sort of your emotions and just your perspective on things going from that to where 11 months later you knocked them off on your own field?
Different football team. This guy didn't have 2 picks last year. You know what I mean? We had different guys on the field. We had guys that are playing together every snap. We got guys that trust me, trust the defense, trust Sam, trust the O-line. Everybody trusts each other. And, I mean, it's incredible. We got our fire back since Texas Tech. And, I mean, guys are playing for each other. And it's a whole different football team than it was last year. I had a talk with JT at the beginning of the game is if I go for 400 or you go for 250, this can't be a selfish game. We got to play together. And it went, him for a 30-yard catch, me for a 50-yard run. Him for a 20-yard catch, me for a 15-yard run. The whole game, and it was awesome to see him being happy even though he wasn't getting the ball every play. And that's what it's all about. So it's guys are playing together, and I love it.
Cam, to piggyback off that, you're talking about obviously playing together, but the complementary football. I know coaches talked about it, you talked about it, and just firing each other up. I mean, after, like you said, his 2 interceptions, but after the first one, what does that do for the offense?
It gives us more hope. You know, every time the ball gets turned over or we stop them on 4th down, it just gives us that much more hope that we have another chance. You know, we're up 4. They get a stop on 4th down. It was my call. I told Coach Arroyo he wanted to punt the football, and I said, give it to me. I'll get the 1st down, and we got stopped. It won't happen every time. It might happen one every 10 times I do it. But he trusted me. I didn't make it work, and then he kept handing me the ball. So, I mean, I don't know. I love these dudes, man, and we're going to keep winning football games. That's all I got to say.
For both Cam and Caleb, on July 2nd, an article came out where Utah was picked to finish first in this conference. You guys were picked to finish dead last, and you guys just knocked them off here on your home stadium. What does that mean for you guys to get past like any of the outside media speculation, adversity, and go ahead and beat any team that comes in you guys' building?
Well, I mean, it shows the work we put in. You know what I'm saying? Going into the season, we know we were the underdogs, and we knew every game that we were going to have people that go against us. And if we just stay as a team and just play together and practice hard every week and finish, we're going to come out with the outcome that we want.
Yeah, so exactly what he said. I mean, who cares about the media when we got ourselves, you know? You guys say things, you know, and you guys have your own opinions. We know what's going on in our locker room, and at the end of the day, it comes down to us playing football. We don't have to listen to people saying we're going to finish last and Utah going to finish first. At the end of the day, we both got to get on the football field and play. So 4-1 and 4-1, and now we're 5-1 and they're 4-2. So
Caleb, walk us through that last interception and what that moment meant for you
Thank you, guys.
personally, but also the program as a whole.
It meant a lot for me just to know that we got the win. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing whatever I can to win. You know, and I'm not really a stat player. You know, it's amazing. But at the end of the day, I just want to win. You know, this is my last year of college, and my main goal is just to win. Because when you win, everything goes good for everybody. So just to know that I got that interception and we got the win, I was very happy.
Caleb, okay. Caleb, you're a guy that's really waited your turn and been here and stayed here through the coaching change and transfer portal guys leaving. And can you talk about what this kind of game means to you?
It means a whole lot. You know, I put in a lot of work to get to this position, and I just tell my family and everything that one day I'm going to get my opportunity. And when you do get that opportunity, the work you put in is going to show, and tonight it showed.
Yeah, Caleb, when did you actually find out that you were going to start?
Last week when he didn't get the targeting call, so I knew.
You knew the whole time?
When he got the targeting call, because I'm the
Yeah.
2. You know what I'm saying? So I knew once he wasn't playing, it was going to beat me up.
Okay. Kenny said that it might be Zyrus, so that's why I was.
Oh yeah, well, you know, because I play both positions, but you know, in my head, I was thinking it was going to be me. You know what I'm saying? But whatever the coaches say, that's on them.
So, having seen Utah play before and just kind of the experience that you have, how much did that help you kind of be ready for this moment? Because you seem to be wherever the ball was.
I knew they were going to run the ball. You know, this is a linebacker's game, and so I knew they were going to run the ball. And anytime you're a linebacker and you're playing a running team, you should be happy. So I just felt like this is the type of game for us. And as a group, we felt like this was the game for us, and we showed out tonight.
Hey, Caleb, filling in for Keyshawn tonight, what was his messaging to you going into the game, kind of?
Well, as a group, you know, we just want to make plays. You know, we work hard as a group. You could say they're starters, but we all play the same amount. We all get our opportunities. So it wasn't really too much like he knows I've been in this position before. So, you know what I'm saying? We just got to go in there and execute. And I knew he was coming in back at the second half, so I wouldn't have to be on the field as long. And, you know, we'll sub and stuff like that. So it was just make plays and go out and be myself.
Caleb, talking to Coach Cooper in the preseason, I mean, obviously, you said the transfer portal guys that came in, and he wanted to get you guys uncomfortable real quick, but to be honest with each other in competition. With that, I mean, that attitude starting camp, how do you feel it's helped your linebacker core as a group?
It's helped a lot. You know, I felt like this is one of the deepest linebackers group I've been a part of. And just for us to come in every day and not get comfortable because, you know, a guy could start over you or he could beat you out. You know, every day we came in to work, and now it's finally showing. And Coach Coop does a good job with keeping us uncomfortable. He don't let us get comfortable. And so he does that every week, and I'm happy for that.
That is your question for Caleb?
It's for Caleb.
Okay, one more for Caleb, and we'll go to you, Jordan.
First off, Caleb, appreciate you representing the Pacific Northwest.
Yes,
Let's go
sir.
Washington. What does it mean to you just to be in this moment, to make those plays? And what was going through your mind as all that's happening? And just did it ever really hit you that, you know, I just got back-to-back interceptions, or was just going through the game?
It means everything to me. You know what I'm saying? I kind of be like, before the game, I kind of visualize things, making plays and things that I'm going to do. So when they happen, you know, I'm not too surprised. And, you know, I tell my dad I'm more happy just to go see what my dad has to say, because I be telling him I'm going to do all this before the game. And, you know, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And so it just means the most to me to just be able to make plays. And I've been dreaming of this since I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? And finally at the big stage, being able to make plays, my team is winning, and we beat a ranked team, so I'm just happy.
Caleb, we'll let you loose. Thank you for the game.
Yes, sir.
Jordan, back in the back. Start us off with
Yeah. I mean, I got hit in the ribs, started to spasm and couldn't really breathe. But, I mean, I was just fired up. So I was just really sad. I wasn't really too worried about the pain. I was just sad I couldn't put on for the team. So, you know, once I got up and got the, strength to get up, I told our team, y'all boys better go put this one in. So I went to the tent, did whatever I had to do, got back out there and just did what I can to get a win with the team.
Doug Franz Unplugged. Jordan, question for you first is Cam just said before we left that you two had a conversation, and he said something about you guys were both getting fired up, getting into it, not a selfish game. We're going to do both, whatever. Take me through that conversation, if you would.
He was just saying that we need to do everything to win, like regardless who's doing it. If I have the ball, he's going to block for me. If I got the ball. He's gonna block for me and just finish there and play hard.
And Sam, 2 questions for you. You kind of mentioned it briefly a second ago, but as you got up and were making your way off, we could all see you walk over to the sideline huddle. What specifically did you say?
I mean, I just basically told him to put the ball in the end zone. I ain't gonna get into the specifics, but you know, just try to get our team rallied up and let them know I ain't going down. So I'm gonna come back and fight. Yeah, I mean, a bunch in walkthroughs. Like when we're just walking through stuff, I'll just kind of pop it over his shoulder pad and he'll catch it. So, I mean, we probably got 50 of those all week, which is a lot, for a running back. Yeah, so it was a 0 check, and he's supposed to run the now, and he uncovered because you're supposed to uncover late, and I saw him coming out. We busted, slid the line, and I was able to find him, make a play. So, I mean, talk about a kid who wants the ball in the big moments. That's just a situation where it's not like we ever said he was supposed to get the ball right there. He just uncovered and went, and I found him. So big props to him. Yeah, I mean, dating back to spring ball, I feel like it just kind of clicked instantly. He's got a really good feel for the game. We constantly just working, so getting more comfortable within the offense and timing and he feels how I'm going to throw the ball and how I want to come out of breaks. And, like going into last night, we went and watched 50 clips on one play and, saw a bunch of different looks and said exactly what I wanted, different looks and what he was thinking. So it's just stuff like that, putting a little work outside of here that, when it comes to game day, it just comes second nature. Yeah, I mean, we knew they were going to load the box and play man, so we had to win, and we did a hell of a job on all cylinders of that. Boy creating a lot of separation on a lot of those plays, making it easy throws for me. So I'm just out there playing pitch and catch. O-line did a great job as well.
Yeah, Hans Ward was just saying it's a 60-minute one-on-one period the whole week. So, and I don't lose a lot of one-on-one, so shoot, that's what it was.
Ain't wrong there. Yeah, I mean, we just out here playing as a team, so our defense is always stepping up in the big moments, week in and week out. Great job for him finding the play, finding the ball. Looks like he bobbled it and then came up with it. So big time play and just super happy to be on this team and have this culture that we do.
Thank you guys for the time. Thank you.
Way better. I like that. Oh, fatiguing. Fatiguing is probably the best word. I'm tired. No, I usually do that before the game, not after. Yeah, well, obviously Caleb, first on him, that's a guy who was here through all the mess. He was here when all the bad things were happening. He was here, the 3-9. Then I show up and tell him, just stay, just stay. He's here again, we're 3-9, we suck again, right? And then we're just stay, believe. He's one of the few people that stayed. And for him to make that play is awesome. Kudos to him, gave him a game ball. And then the defensive performance, just unbelievable the way they stepped up, specifically in the first half in the running game. First half in the running game, I don't know exactly the statistics, but we held them to, I believe, 3.6 yards a carry, other than their 120-yard run that they had, which is unbelievable. And then they got us on a few darts in the second half, tackle pulls, but good scheme by them. But Caleb's just the definition of really what this team is, and that's just continuing to fight, not getting rattled, and finding a way.
Kenny, can you kind of talk about what this means for your program? You've talked about Utah, your admiration for them, and far this game can go for you to establish yourself in this program to establish?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing today is, when you look at the rushing statistics, we ran the ball decent, right? And we stopped the run decent versus a program, not a team, a program that's their identity. And I would love to say this one win puts us on that level and gives us that consistency, but it doesn't, right? It just shows that we're in the right direction, shows that we're trending in the right direction. It shows that what we're doing is working, right? But it takes a lot of commitment. It takes an entire organization in order to, sorry, you okay? Okay. It takes an entire organization in order to build what they built. And I know with Graham, I know with the new leadership that we're going to be a program that can sustain this, and that they're invested in investing into our strength staff, invested into our recruiting staff, investing into our assistant coaches' salaries, that they've made guarantees to me that they're going to invest to make this one of the best programs in the country. And I think we have one of the best staffs in the country, so I'm excited to try to create some continuity here. Yeah, chaos, absolute chaos. All of a sudden I was shaking Coach's hand, and then there was, thousands of people on the field swarming around us. And it was awesome, though. That's what college sports is about. That's what Activating the Valley is about. That's what's coming to a college is about. You go to a school, that way you can remember moments like this. You go to school and you get your education and you go in the real world, but you remember moments like this, not just our players, but the fans, the students. They remember these moments. And I think that's the fun part about college football is you get to create memories, not just for your team, but for, at Arizona State at least, 80,000 people, 100,000 people at a time that are students here. And that's pretty cool. He was playing well. He was in a rhythm. Bottom line, he deserved it. So playing well in a rhythm, deserved it. And guess what? Game was on the line. He closed it out.
You talked last week about the response of the defense to the offensive turnovers. Again this week, one turnover, but the defense held Utah to a 3-and-out right after. What do you got to say about the defense's ability to come up big in those situations?
Yeah, our defense played really, really well, especially after turnovers, especially in the low red zone. We talked about if you want to beat Utah, you have to win the margins, right? They're a team, they usually shorten the game, right? They limit games to 9 possessions. They get you frustrated because you're on the sideline on offense. So in order to prevent that, you have to run the ball, you have to win the turnover battle, and you have to win the margins. And what are the margins? The margins are the middle 8. The margins are low red zone. The margins are 3rd and 4th down, right? You got to win those margins if you want to beat Utah. And we won the margins when it comes to low red zone, and that was really the difference in the football game, was that margin. And kudos to our guys. That was been an Achilles heel for us going into the bye week. We made an emphasis to get better at it. We pointed it out. We worked it in the bye, and we've been better at it since we've come out of the bye. And all about the guys. This team, this is all. I don't even give pregame speeches, guys. Our own guys give pregame speeches. Think about that. I leave, and they talk. Because it's not about the coaches, it's about these guys. Yeah, it's not about me. It's about the leaders. Those leaders do a phenomenal job setting the tone. Like I told them, we're only going to be a team as good as our leadership, as good as how hard our players, our best players play. In my first meeting, that's what I said. I said, everybody, who thinks they're a good player? Who thinks you're one of our best players? Well, we're only going to play as hard as you play. So if you raised your hand, then you just put yourself in a higher pedestal. And if you think you're a leader, if you think you're one of our better players, then you have to play harder than everybody else because you're now the standard. So with great power comes great responsibility. And with those guys, I think they're setting the standard high. And hopefully they're setting the standard for the the young guys in our program. So this becomes the standard. And hopefully the standard continue to raises, which is how hard we play. And we're still getting too many, penalties, passionate penalties. But like I told him, I'd much rather teach a dog who bites to put him back in the cage than try to teach a dog who barks how to bite. And if our guys get physical penalties, and we get violent penalties, we're going to try to coach that and get that toned down. But a big reason we're winning football games is because we play hard, we play with passion, and I want guys who bite, not guys who bark. And we got to teach them how to bite a little less, but it's definitely easier to teach them that than how to bite. And with that, we were picked to win 4 games this year, so a lot of Sun Devil fans obviously picked the over in Vegas, right? For those of you guys who won, put that money back into the collective, right? Because you get to celebrate these wins. You get to have another cold one with your friends. You get to have great Saturday nights. That should be enough for you already. Take that money that you've won, put it back into these kids, put it back into that collective, right? And let's enjoy the rest of the year. Oh, yeah. I mean, that was back, and we go for a 4th down with 9 minutes left because our best player is a running back says, give me the ball. So we're going to give him the ball. I mean, like I said, this is their team, not mine. It's theirs. And if our best player, the guy who's one of our best guys, wants the ball, we're going to give it to him. Bottom line. And we got stuffed. And guess what our defense did? We stopped him. They had his back. And then guess what we did? We got it back, and he finished it. And then Caleb finished it. And it's like, it was just that, what you just described is the definition of a team. And we were that tonight. Hi. Yeah, we have a lot of confidence in Jeff. I mean, we really did. I mean, put him in there, we put the ball in his hands, and he goes and scores a touchdown. And then we go in there the next drive, and 2nd down, 1st down, we call a run, doesn't really go anywhere. 2nd down, we call a pass. If I remember correctly, he throws a little snag route to the single receiver, throws a good ball, good read, right? We get stopped a little bit short. 3rd down, we get a 1st down, and then they get us to get off the field. But it wasn't due to him. He went in there and executed the calls. And kudos to him for being ready. He's a veteran. He's a guy who, in today's day and age of football, transferred here not to be the number 2. He transferred here to start. And there's there's great power in what it means to the football team that you have a guy who's a senior who transferred here to start to win the job, and he didn't. And he's a great teammate. He's a great person, and he goes in there and he gets the job done when he was called upon. And that's the culture we're trying to build, and that's the program we're trying to build. And I think what he did tonight and how he's handled himself just tells you everything you need to know about him. Huge explosive plays, especially versus Utah. Teams that don't give up explosive runs. That's their MO. They don't give up explosive plays. But it all works together. The O-line played great. Cam's hard to bring down. The quarterback running game and the moving of the pockets, we called a good game with the quick games mixed in there, and the jet sweeps. But it's just critical. You have to have explosive plays to win football games. It's actually... Talk about the margins. Explosive play rate is the 2nd highest statistic that correlates to wins behind turnovers in college football of the major statistics. They're harder to measure. Everybody wants explosive plays, right? So it's a little bit different. I don't quantify them as important because everybody wants them all the time, but they are definitely a direct correlation to winning, and we had those when it mattered most. And the one thing that's awesome for our guys is we're playing our best football in the 4th quarter. And I think that's a testament to, we talk about our workload in practice and how people think we're crazy because we put up 570 workloads week 6, and we're putting up back-to-back 570 workloads on a Tuesday, Wednesday practice on week 4 last week, or week 5 last week, I'm sorry. And people are like, golly. But then in the fourth quarter of 2 games, right, we find a way. And that's a kudos to the guys believing in the work, because a lot of people could be calling their buddies and saying, they ain't doing this. Why are we doing this? And our guys are just bought in, and they believe in the process. On what situation? Oh, to go up 9 or 8? Yeah, definitely go up 8. Only from a perspective of, you never want to put yourself in position, in my opinion, to lose, right? So if you go for 2 and don't get it, you're exposing yourself to potentially losing. Whereas if you're up 8, you're still 1, depending on when they score, you may have another possession, right? If they were to score fast, and you can't lose, right? So the combination there, I think, was not really a debate for me. Yeah, I wish I could say it's like, oh, great coaching. It's not. It's these guys' belief. It's these guys, the work that they've put in all off season. It's the work they put in throughout the week. Like I said, this is, I get to stand up here and people get to say Dilly and all the cool things, but this is really all about our players. They're the ones who have changed this place. They're the ones who are putting in the work. They're the ones that believe, and it's all about them.
While it was called back, obviously it was another targeting call. Do you think it's your mindset, what you saw in the play and kind of what went through your head?
Well, I saw not targeting, and then what went through my head was, I can't believe that was targeting. But you got to remember, targeting's always reviewed up top. So anything that's close, you're going to throw the flag because it's always reviewed. So just because somebody throws a flag for targeting doesn't even mean they really believe it's targeting. It just means they want them to slow the game down to look at it, because they didn't call roughing the passer and targeting. If they would have called roughing the passer and targeting, then even if the targeting was taken off, there still would have been assessed the roughing the passer, the 15-yard penalty. So they didn't feel like it was a violent penalty. They just felt like there was a chance that his head made contact in the head or neck area. So sometimes they throw those flags almost to guarantee reviews, to just like alert people, let's review this and take a peek at it because it was close. So yeah, it's hard when it's like reversed. They call it and you're like going crazy and you're like, that's not targeting. And they're like, well, we're going to review it. And then it wasn't, of course. But what was going through my head was, no way. Yeah. Well, last year we were, a great day was about 5'10". 520. The average end when we got into the Tuesdays, mid-season, we're about low 4s because we lost so many guys. So very hard to practice at a high rate. So we're about, somebody do the math, quick math, they're 25% higher workload per day, which is a fourth quarter worth of workload more a day. And to compare it, I compare it to, that's how Oregon practices. Which means that's how Georgia practices, which means that's how Alabama used to practice, and it's hard to do that when you don't have the depth, and we're building the depth and we're building the toughness to be able to do that. Now you got to be able to balance that, and we're half through the year, so we have to be able to pull back a little bit, and the fact that our guys on a short week, 6 days rest, versus a team that's on a bye, who gets their starting quarterback back, who we don't get 2 full days of practice, can go out and do what they did and find a way to win with every single odd stacked against them is unbelievable. And it shows me that we can take a little bit off these guys, that they can be focused, and maybe we go from one of those workload days or 2 of those workload days down to 1 here these last 6 games to try to keep these guys fresh. Yeah, last year's Utah game was interesting, to say the least. Definitely was not fun by any means, but just testament once again to our guys in terms of like just putting in the work. I mean, you can't shortcut it. The work is the work. Like, there's not a secret potion or a secret formula to have success. It's if you want to achieve something, you have to care about it and you have to put in the work. And our guys have done that from winter to spring to summer when they thought they were getting an NCAA video game early, right? They still did it. And even though people thought I was evil when we did it, but it's all about the work. And it'll always be all about the work, and these guys are all about the work.
Kenny, two questions. Number one, you can sit up there and be as modest as you want. The previous regime dragged this thing to the line. It usually takes about 3 to 4 years to save a program. You've done it in 18 months. What is the number one thing you did to get you where you are now? And number two, Cam told us when he was here that you challenged him this week. Not coaches challenge their number one guy.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Yeah, well, I always challenge Scat. Scat needs to be challenged. That's his personality. If you let him get comfortable, in my opinion, he's always been one of the better players on your team. And most people they say they coach their best players the hardest, but you don't. Most people don't coach their best players the hardest. So, he wasn't on a kickoff. He's been on kickoff for us, and he wasn't on kickoff when we took kickoff. And I said, what happened? Like, you wonder why are we falling off? It's because our mindset's changed. Why aren't you on kickoff? Like, that's who we are. Same thing I said last week, and I challenged him, and then I challenged him again this week that, these are the games that people are going to watch. And he rose to the challenge. And in terms of, what do I think the one thing is, I couldn't tell you. Recruit good kids. Like, we're very big on recruiting people who fit us. Like, the rankings are awesome, and they do matter. Like, don't let anybody get you wrong. Like, there's some stats behind that. But more importantly than that is you get the right guy. You get people who love football. You get people who are good people. You don't lie to people in the recruiting process. So when they are here, it's not I tricked them here. They're like, no, this is what I told you. I told you we were going to work. Like, here you go, Sam. I told you would have a chance to win the job. You won it. Congrats. Like, take that times 120. Like, it's, people think because I'm young, I'm going to relate and play video games, and that's good, which I am, by the way. But at the end of the day, it's about honest conversations with people. And in the recruiting process, it's about telling people the truth, not what they want to hear. And I truly believe when you do that, you're going to get the right people in your program, not the people that want to be told things, want to be told how great they are. You get the people that want to be challenged. And I think that's one thing our staff does a really good job of is we bring the right people to this program, and hopefully we continue to do that. The people that are passionate about the game, are passionate about people, the people that are a good person, that make good decisions and have a lot of fun working harder than anybody in the country. Yeah, I mean, Caleb's one of my favorite kids on the team because he just does everything you ask over and over and over again. He's in the best shape of his life right now. He's bigger than he's ever been. He's faster than he's ever been. And he's playing better football than he's ever played. And like I said, talk about a dude who just persevered through it all, right? He was here for the lowest of the lows. And he kept fighting. He didn't leave. And he kept fighting because he wanted to be a Sun Devil. And for him to make this play is just unbelievable for him. And it's going to be something he remembers forever. And it's a great lesson for him and for people that he persevered through something. He overcame the odds. He kept fighting. And his time came. And when his time came, he got the job done.
Hey, Kenny, Max Bader. You spoke in a video
Yeah, I mean, the people telling us how good we are, I mean, they do such a great job that they picked us last. So, I mean, they obviously must be right. They must be right. We must listen to everything they say and take it as the absolute truth, right? And but it's not about anything else. It's about us. Like, it's about us. It's about us. And we'll probably go in there. You know, we have Saturday and Sunday that are voluntary for them. And then we'll get back on a normal just because the week, we can't technically bring them in NCAA rules. So Monday we'll bring them in, and we'll probably tell them all the bad things we did, right? All the things we got to get better at. And we got to go on the road at Cincinnati, kick off at 9 a.m., right, which is a great challenge. And like I said last week in my press conference, there are no upsets in this league. Like this league, I think the spread, the average spread in this league this week was like 3.5. 3.5. Every day is a dogfight, and it's all about the teams who can mentally flush it and get right back to the main thing. And the main thing is just your thing. Just do it again and do it again and do it again. And that's the challenge, and that's going to be the message. How are the Olympics? Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's a program. You know, that was a team. You could see their quarterback wasn't fully healthy. You know, he was battling, he was fighting. But that was a team that is a program. And like I said earlier, we hopefully, you know, we can build ourselves to be that program, not a team. Right now, we're a team working to build a program. And a program is not just a football coach. It's an athletic director, it's a president, it's a strength staff, it's a off-the-field staff, it's a recruiting staff. It's the commitment to keep the people in the building for a long period of time. And that's what Utah did from top to bottom as an organization. They kept people that were passionate about Utah in the building, right? They kept the continuity. And that's what the program's about. And that's what we have to do here. And I have full belief we're going to do that. And my message to Coach Whittingham was, hey, it was before the game, you know, after the game, we just shook hands, you know, congratulations. But it was, hey, I want to pick your brain whenever you choose to retire. I want you to come out to practice. I want you to tell me what I'm doing wrong, tell me what we can do better, and I want you to coach me. Because, like I said, the success he's had over a long period of time speaks for itself, and one game doesn't define that or his program, and I have the utmost respect for that program.
What did he say?
He said, congratulations, you guys are playing your butt off. Oh, to that question? Yeah, sorry, that was that. Before he goes, oh, of course. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see him coming to help us out, like, tomorrow. You know, that'd be awesome. Yeah, local guys, I mean, that's on them. I don't know. We're going to recruit really good players here. There's a lot of really good players who want to be here. And I'm from here. I'm born and raised here. I would love for these local guys who are committed elsewhere to come here. But at the end of the day, we're going to win here. And you're either going to be a part of it or you're not. And you're either going to be like Jake Smith and you're going to be able to run off that field and go see your family after the game, and you're either going to be able to accomplish something in your own state that you can be proud of, or you're not. And I'm worried about getting people here that are passionate to be Sun Devils. Passionate to be Sun Devils, whether that means they're from California, Hawaii, Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, Florida. I don't care. I want people who are passionate that when they show up campus, they say, dang, this is awesome. Like, this place is awesome. And I felt that growing up. So I know there's kids out there right now that are committed to bigger programs, that are committed to cooler programs, the programs that have won longer and we haven't won yet. But at the same token, the challenge is we're going to go sign good players here. And I'm not going to chase the guys here. The guys here, the best players in this state, if they want to be a part of this, they have that opportunity. But we're going to sign really good players, and I hope it's the kids in the state. But at the end of the day, that's on them. Well, we have one of the best student sections in college football. It's because we have one of the biggest universities in college football. And that's our power. Our power here at Arizona State is with numbers. Our power is with the amount of people that should be invested in this place is our greatest strength. And we got to really tap into that. If you're a person who's an alumni, send our game to somebody, our score, right? That's also an alumni that's disconnected. We have to reconnect everybody who was once connected to this place. We have to reconnect them because the power in this school, the power in this city is in numbers. And if we can unite, if we can come together, this can be one of the best environments in college football, but we can do something here that people have thought should be done for a long time. We can get it accomplished. It's going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight. There's going to be more failures this year than people want, but that's part of the build. But that crowd is unbelievable. One thing I will say is when we're on offense, we don't need to cheer. When we're on defense, we need to cheer really loud, right? So I'm going to get with our crew. We're going to have to put up some signs to get this cheering thing rocking, right, for the fans. No, I don't know if he has a Harbaugh type quote, but no, it's awesome. I mean, that's why you come home. That's why myself, my wife, Bree always dreamt of being here, being the head coach here. I mean, we're moving into a house that's 3 doors down from them, and the back fence is connected to my sister. And then her parents live 4 minutes away, and my other brother lives 12 minutes from there. So I'm really excited for somebody to negatively recruit against us and staff continuity. Has anybody noticed who's been on the side?